Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's lesson. Today we are going to be talking about ecology for kids. I know many of us we are so familiar to the word ecology from our science class. So today we are going to be talking about ecology for kids from our textbook, Johnny's book, from page 440, Unit 3, Lesson 15. So open with me, get a seat, get your pen, get your biro, get your book, and jot. Ecology for Kids by Federico Harena, page 440. Essential question: why is it important to be informed by what is happening in the world? Why is it important to be informed about what is happening in the world? Many of us, we are so familiar to what is happening in the world right now by a very chronic virus called coronavirus. So, information is very important nowadays. Without information, we wouldn't know what is happening in the other country or in our country. So, information helps us get aware of what is happening in other country, and it also helps us in our social life and in our daily activities. So, information is very important to the world, because without information, we wouldn't be current and we wouldn't know what is happening in other country. So, in our reading of today, Ecology for Kids. Firstly, we need to know our genre. Our genre, it is an informational text. It is an informational text. So the purpose of we reading this, like I do tell you, before you read, you need to set a purpose for your reading. You need to set a target for your reading, why you want to read the story. So, the purpose for the reading is to know the relationship between organisms and the environment. So, that makes us go to the analyze. The problem of one ecosystem directly affects the organisms of other ecosystems. So, if one ecosystem is having a problem, it will directly affect the others. So, the problem of one ecosystem directly affects the organisms of other ecosystems. Fine. We need to know what an ecosystem is. So that makes us go to the next slide. This is a summary of the passage. We have to summarize the passage before reading. So I need to summarize the passage so it's gonna be so interesting for you to read, and you need to know what you're going to be meeting in the passage. Firstly, what is an ecosystem? An ecosystem, this is the community of the living things interacting with the non-living part of their environment. With the image right here, you can see a lot of things on the image displayed. We can see the sun, the tree, the water, and some insects. So this is a community of living things interacting with non-living parts of their environment. We all know what the non-living things are. The non-living things could be the rock, the wood, and some minerals, because they are non-living things. So ecosystem is a community of living things interacting with non-living parts of their environment. So it's the way they interact with the things that are not living things, that doesn't have life. So that is going to take us to the next slide. We have two parts of an ecosystem. The first one is the biotic and the abiotic. The biotic and the abiotic. The biotic is made up of all living things like plants, animals, fungi, and bacteria. The biotic is made up of all living things like plants, animals, fungi, and bacteria. We all know what living things are, things that have life. So abiotic, this is made up of non-living things like the rocks, minerals, energy, air, and soil. So living things, you can see on the slide, on the other end, the image. On the left side, you can see the biotic, which is the living things like the plants, animals, bacteria. And the abiotic, we can see the non-living things just like water, soil, light, minerals, and air. They are all not living things. So I'm sure by this you're going to know the difference between the biotic and the abiotics. The abiotics doesn't have life. The biotics are living things. So the rocks, the minerals, energy, air, and the soil, they don't have life. They are non-living things. So that makes us go to the next of our slide. An ecosystem could be a small pond. In most cases, the energy comes from the sunlight, and the animals consume their energy from the plants and are eaten up by other animals, and they decompose back into the soil. You can see from the image placed on the screen. You can see where the plant is getting the energy from. The plants get the energy from the sun, and why the insects get its own energy from where? From the plants. So why the frog gets what? Its own energy from the what? From the grasshopper. Wow, that's so interesting. So the snake gets the energy from where? From the frog. So tell me where the orc will get the energy from. Definitely it's gonna be from the snake, because it's the chain, and that is how they get energy. So energy is transferred from one animal to other. So that makes us go to the next slide. One of the most important concepts in the ecosystem is the habitat. An habitat is a place where the organisms lives. An habitat is a place where the organisms lives. An habitat is a place where the organisms lives. The organisms must get nutrition, shelter, and things they need to survive from their habitat. So, on the screen here, you can see the 4 habitats that are placed on the screen. We can see the desert, the river, the ice, and the forest. So, can you imagine the fish living on the land? Definitely, the fish will never survive because the fish is not getting what it needs to survive. So the fish needs to be where does the fish has to be? In the water. They has to be in the water because they need water to survive. So they has to be in the water. Scientists call the study of ecology as ecologists in order to discover the new ways to protect the organisms and their environments. So, the study of ecology is known as ecologists in order to discover the new ways to protect the organisms and their environment. So, we all need to protect the organisms and their environment because most of us we get our foods from plants and animals. So definitely it has to be what? It has to be protected because if the soil, if the plants, if the animals are not kept well, are not being what? Protected, we will not survive. We the human being will not survive because we need plants to survive. We need animals to survive. So the study of ecology is known as ecologists. So I hope with a few points that I mentioned, I hope it has enlightened us to what we are going to be saying or we are going to be meeting in this reading. So I will urge you guys to open your book and stay focused. Follow the reading and make sure you write out the new words that seems to be unclear to be you. Enjoy the reading.
Ecology for Kids by Federico Arana. Ecology. What does the word ecology mean? The term was invented by Ernest, a German biologist. He joined two Greek words, oikos meaning house and logi meaning the study of. Together they mean the study of the house. The house Haeckel had in mind is our planet Earth. Earth is home for all living things, humans, animals, plants, fungi, and even tiny microbes. To study houses to learn how its residents use it. An ecologist is a scientist who studies the relationship between organisms and their environment. The environment is an organism's surroundings. It may include water, gases, rocks, and temperature. Ecologists also study the delicate balance of using the environment while protecting it. An ecologist once asked a boy what he thought it meant to protect the environment. The boy said, "You go into the forest and look for somebody who wants to cut down a tree. You take away his axe, you tell him about how important trees are. You say they are good for natural beauty, saving soil, putting oxygen into the air, and giving shelter to birds and other animals." "Good answer," said the ecologist, "but it may not be easy to find a woodcutter to talk to. Also, remember that sometimes it's necessary to cut down a tree. If we cut down too many trees, the forest will disappear. If we don't cut down any trees, we won't get any resource from the forest. We have to find the right balance." "I get it," the boy said. "We need the forest resource for wood and paper, or we might not have desks or notebooks for school." "Exactly, and school is a good place to learn about ecology," added the ecologist. "Then you will know how to protect the natural environment." Ecosystem. Scientists call Earth and its surrounding atmosphere the biosphere. To study it, they divide it into parts called ecosystems. An ecosystem is a natural area where groups of living and non-living things interact with their environment. Forests, lakes, swamps, and deserts are all examples of ecosystems. An ecosystem and the organisms that live in it may depend on other ecosystems. For example, a bear that lives in a forest might use a lake to find fish to eat and water to drink. In the same way, the problems of one ecosystem often directly affect the organisms of other ecosystems. Take, for example, the problems of the tropical rainforest. Destruction of the forest. 4 of Earth's 7 continents have traces of what used to be vast tropical forests. Now, these forests are gone. How did they disappear? A large part of the forest was cut down to clear lands for farming. This caused problems. The layer of soil upon which a forest rests is thin, without deeply rooted trees. The soil is washed away by rain. Soon nothing remains but dry, sandy soil in which very little can grow. Without plants to eat, animals must leave their habitats. Huge amounts of oxygen are also lost. The Amazon rainforest alone is thought to produce 1/3 of all the oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. In addition, many rainforest plants are used to produce medicines. Preserving the rainforest is important to all living things. Clearing a tropical forest can create problems for the world. An ocean of a resource. The sea is another ecosystem to be both used and protected. The sea covers 4/5 of Earth's surface. It is an amazing world filled with a huge variety of creatures. These creatures include fish, crabs, jellyfish, corals, sponges, clams, snails, and algae. Marine mammals such as dolphins and whales spend their whole lives in the sea. Other mammals include seals, walruses, and polar bears, living near the sea and spend much of their time in it. The sea turtle and some birds, such as penguins, spend most of their lives at sea. Scientists are still discovering new species of sea life. The sea is home to an amazing variety of creatures. Fish is an important food resource. The sea provides 50 million tons of fish each year. However, overfishing, harvesting too many fish, has put some species in danger. Ecology can show people how to fish responsibly. Learning about ocean animals and their relationships to their environments can help prevent their loss. With this information, fishing can be banned where necessary. People can use the correct nets to keep from trapping young fish and other sea animals. The sea brings us together kinds of riches as well. It offers salt, iron, and copper. Fossil fuels such as petroleum and natural gas can be found beneath the sea. The sea is used to transport people and goods. Thanks to the power of tides, the sea is also a promising source of new energy. We should use this resource while protecting the sea. The protective ozone layer. Another important part of Earth's biosphere is the atmosphere. This is the blanket of air covering Earth. Part of the atmosphere is the ozone layer. It protects us from the sun. The sun's light lets us see and is needed for growth. Its heat controls the temperatures of Earth. All living things need the sun's light and heat to live and grow. The sun also produces powerful radiation, including X-rays, ultraviolet rays, and microwaves. If the ozone layer were to disappear, Earth would receive too many of these harmful rays. These would hurt all living things. People have banned the use of chemicals that can weaken the ozone layer. By thinking ecologically, we can safely use the sun's resources. The ozone layer protects the Earth from the sun's harmful rays. How can you protect biosphere Earth? One important way to protect the environment is to help stop pollution. Here are a few ideas. Put trash in its place. Trash does not belong in the streets, the rivers, or the oceans. Trash and other kinds of pollution harm all living things. Use solar-powered clocks and calculators when you can. If you use battery power, recycle and use batteries. When you leave a room, turn off the light. When you are not using televisions, radios, and computers, turn them off too. That way, your family uses less electricity and will save money. Save water in every way you can. Take short showers, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. If a faucet is dripping, ask an adult to fix it. Finally, remember that many people make mistakes because they don't know about ecology and pollution. Instead of getting mad, teach them. You will help make a better environment for yourself and for your own children.